Hey, what's good, everyone? Local Iceman here. Looking at our Zamboni door right here, our gate, depending on which Rink you come from. We got a few issues right here. We're going to focus on two of them. We got a number of issues with our door right here. You can see one right there is the hinge. That's what we're not going to be focused on today. We got a copper sleeve in there. I guess I say everything's copper, but there's a copper brass sleeve stuck in there. It still needs a little work, but we're going to focus on today is this door jam, how the door hooks to the frame right here. Seems a little bit loose. There's a little wobble in it, a little more wobble than I'm comfortable with. So we're going to take it apart here, and to do that we're going to have to take the plastic off and then the wood to get to the framing. Andy stopped by yesterday to sharpen some skates, and we're kind of looking at it, asking him, hey, how's things put together? You know, you're here when it's built. Get the door open right here. And he said that there's lag bolts in here. So as you see right there, there is a lag bolt. Get that light just the right way. Right there. So we got one right there. There's not one right there. So we're going to add one. For whatever reason, there's not one right there. Another one right there. And assume there's another one probably down there. But I'm not going to try to get to that. So we're going to do, as well as the second thing we're going to do, you probably saw it. We got some ice buildup. So we're going to chip and melt that ice out. You know, pull a little plastic off to get to the wood, suck this wood back up to the frame so everything is nice and even and stuff, so no one jabs and stuff with a stick, and we should be good to go. So as always, hesitant to open these boards up, and this right there, that needs to be fixed. That's quite a bit of job. That kind of broke, you know, just a few months ago now. It started to crack a little bit. So maybe while we're in this, if I have some blue plastic, I'm gonna see if I cut myself a piece out and fix that piece right there, because that's definitely an eyesore. It doesn't look good. So again, these boards, I was gonna say, like, these boards, once you start getting into them, it's a can of worms, man. Like, let me get some tools together here. I'm gonna start tearing some plastic off, get to the wood, and get this door frame, suck that back to the jam, suck back to the frame, and hopefully we'll be good to go. So, all right, stay tuned. Alright, as you can see here, it's quite loose. Quite loose. Got a missing bolt on that one. That one is loose. That one's solid. That's the only one that's probably keeping it on. This one is also missing a bolt. Cobwebs in my hand there. That one's missing a bolt. I see the ones right here. Actually got a couple bolts right here. 3. So, yeah. Get this back together. Here is number one post. So let's go ahead and take a look at this a little closer since we have it open. So essentially, how I understand it, you have your metal post right there. I'm going to call these 4x4s. Cemented into the concrete. They did foam it. They did put insulation. So it's just, I've seen that. That's kind of same thing in the door right there. It's pretty thin, but definitely good. This is the stringer that obviously this wood is bolted to the metal frame, metal post. Then the wood is screwed onto the stringer. So you got a stringer up here, one here, and one along the bottom there. And on the corners, they use 2, I believe 3/8 sheets of wood to get the flex, even though it's kind of straight right here, but to get to turn. And along the straightaways, I think they use 5/8. All right, you get the other side right here. That's the stringer for the other side. I guess they don't really have one on this side. They have one on that side. That's you know, that's why they're so solid, basically. You got some reinforcement here for the doors. That's good to see right there. That's probably what's keeping this thing from tipping this way, with the way of the doors. So let me go ahead and set the camera up here. We'll get this thing tightened up right here. We still got to take the other side off and get it sucked back up to the boards. Chip some ice out there first and slap it all back together. Good times. All right, there you have it. Get everything back together here. It's sounding solid, looking solid, and really sounding solid. I mean, that hinge needs a little work right there. but this doesn't sound clangy as before, as well as this right here. I have to come back tonight and cover for someone, family emergency, so I have to cover for the night guy tonight. So I'm not gonna be able to tackle this today. That's gonna take me a little time. I think I'm gonna slide this glass up in the air to try to get this piece cut out and try to trace it out somehow so I have a nice piece of plastic to stick in there so everything's good and clean. Got all the screws back in there. I don't know why there's some screws missing, quite a few screws missing, to be honest. Got all the screws back in, so it's looking pretty good. As far as I didn't really address it, there was a missing bolt, we thought, but it wasn't really missing. I think they just drilled a hole right there. You can see the lag bolt right there. This one with the structural steel right there with the little, I guess, added structural there for the support for the door. There wasn't really room to put a nut and a bolt. So, but I got 4 lag bolts nice and tight. I put washers, locking washers, 3 bolts, as well as the last one was a nylon locking nut. So it cranked it on nice and tight. So hopefully it doesn't back its way out. With this door shaking across this grate right here, I think it kind of works its way loose. So we have to get that runner back on this side so the door tracks nice and smooth. Thanks to Andy getting us back on here. He just peeled the plastic back a little bit, sunk some screws into the frame through the wood right there, and got the wood stuck up to the frame, so we're good to go on that one. Just need to fix that. Maybe the hinge down the road, and this door will be good to go for a few more years. So go and comment below what kind of board systems you got. If you guys have to work on your board systems, how often, if it's modular, if it's something like this, you got plastic and wood screwed to a metal frame, cemented into concrete. Solid boards, that's for sure. So lasted, I guess we were about 21 years here. And this boards came from another rink that operated like 20 years before that. So a lot of this structure here is about 40 years old. So not doing too bad. All right, go and comment below. Like I said, comments always make the channel better. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. As always, hope you learned something. And like the localized man says, stay cool.